Hey, what's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, I'm Steve, a married dad of two young knuckleheads trying to make our money go further and sharing what I find with you good people. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the best way to budget for a family and why it's one of the most important things you can do for your financial future. So budgeting is like parenting. It's hard, it's messy, and sometimes thankless, but it's worth it in the end. Trust me, I know. I have two young kids, one with a Sonic addiction and one who's still sticking peas up his nose, and a wife who loves to shop online. The cost of living squeeze is real and hitting hard. But thanks to budgeting, we've been able to pay off all of our debt, save for emergencies, and plan our kids' university education and even their pension, believe it or not. So if you want to learn how to budget for your family and achieve your financial plans, well, stick around to the end of this video. And if you enjoy this content, please hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. You might even want to share this with your friends and family if they're interested in that kind of thing. So first, the basics. What is a budget? Well, a budget is simply a plan that tells your money where to go each month. It's based on your income and expenses, and it helps you stay in control of your finances. And why do you need a budget? Well, you need a budget because without one, you're basically flying blind. You don't know how much money you have, where it's going, or what you can afford. You're likely to overspend and get into debt. But with a budget, you can avoid all of that. You can live within your means, pay off your debt faster, and save for emergencies and big purchases, and invest for the future. This is even more so when you're budgeting for a family. A family budget is a collaborative effort of multiple people. You have to communicate and agree with your partner on how to allocate your money and what your financial goals are. So just imagine that you are the CEO of your life and family. Well, okay, maybe your wife is the CEO, and let's say you're the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer. Now you're in charge of the finance. Now, there's no successful company in the world that doesn't track its revenue and costs. You and your family are no different. You need to do this if you want to build a strong financial foundation for your family's future. That's 4F. So how do you create a budget for your family? Well, here are some simple steps that you can follow. Step 1, start with your income. How much money do you bring home each month after taxes? That's both you and your spouse. If you have a variable income or multiple sources of income, use an average or a conservative estimate. And if you don't have any income at all, well, that's a whole other video. Let's park that there for the moment. Step 2, list your expenses. This is the hard part that everyone hates, but there are ways to make it easier. You can use a ready-made Excel template like this, or you could use one of the many budgeting apps like Mint or NYAB, which is You Need a Budget. Identify the things you need to pay for every month. These are your fixed and variable expenses. Fixed expenses are things like your rent and mortgage, car payments, insurance premiums, etc. Variable expenses are things like your groceries, gas, utilities, entertainment, and don't forget to include those sneaky subscriptions that charge you every month without you even noticing. If you're struggling to identify everything you're spending money on, take a look at a couple of bank statements from the past few months. You can use those to help you. Step 3, subtract your expenses from your income. This is your cash flow. Is it positive or negative? If it's negative, this means that you're spending more than you're making. You need to cut back on some expenses or find ways to increase your income, or maybe both. If it's positive, that means you have some extra money left over. Great. So you can use this money to pay off any debt, save more, or invest for the future. Or maybe even just treat yourself with something nice once in a while. Step 4, assign every pound a job. Give each pound a category and a purpose. For example, you could use the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your income goes to needs, such as housing, food, transportation. 30% goes to wants, such as entertainment, hobbies, and eating. And 20% goes to savings and debt payments, such as emergency fund, credit card payments, and retirement. And yes, Netflix counts as a what. Now, when you first start, you might find that your categories are totally out of whack and look nothing like the 20-30-50 allocation. That's fine and fairly common for people who are starting to budget. The 20-30-50 method is a good approximation of what your spending across the categories should look like. You can use it to shape your spending over time and move closer to it month by month. Step 5, track your spending. As you go through the month, keep track of your spending. Once a week, just list out all that you've spent your money on and use your spreadsheet or your budgeting app to keep track of where your money goes each month. This will help you stay on track and adjust your budget as needed. And don't worry if you mess up sometime, we all do. The important thing is to learn from your mistakes and keep trying. Let me give you an example of how budgeting has helped me and my family achieve our financial goal. 2 years ago, ago, we decided to get a new kitchen and our garden remodeled. And so we remortgaged to get the money to do this. Now, the cost of these updates turned out to be more than we planned, and it completely emptied my savings and put us into $5,000 worth of extra debt. We needed to take a long, hard look at our spending, and I developed a budget and started tracking all our spending down to the last penny. Within 18 months, we paid off the extra debt and began to build up our emergency fund again. We also found some spare cash to start building up funds for our kids' university education, and even figured out we could start putting away a little into their pension. And of course, none of this would have been possible without budgeting. Now, I won't say it wasn't tough, especially when you have a family to consider. You have to negotiate with your partner on how you're going to spend money. You have to teach your kids about money and set a good example for them. And sometimes you just have to say no to things you really want, like that new gadget, that fancy restaurant, or that exotic vacation that we're still waiting for. But budgeting is also rewarding and satisfying. You get to celebrate your milestones, such as paying off a debt, saving for a vacation, or reaching a net worth goal. You get to enjoy your money without guilt or worry, and you get to live like no one else. All right, that's it for today's video. I hope you learned something new and useful about budgeting for your family. Budgeting is a powerful tool that can help you take control of your money and live your life on your terms. So if you haven't started, try budgeting for yourself and see the difference it makes in your financial situation and happiness. And if you need some help and guidance, check out this video here, where I explain in more detail the 20, 30, 50 method and how budgeting can be made less painful and less time consuming. And if you have any budgeting tips or questions, please share them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you and help you out. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.